Okay, so welcome to this video where we continue to build our intelligent rover car, which is obstacle avoiding capabilities. So as you can see, I've taken you back to the starting point because in this case, I want to teach you how to do soldering. Soldering is a non-negotiable skill. Every learner, every student who's going to be doing robotics must be taught how to do soldering. So we're going to be soldering our connecting wires onto the motors. This is the stage that comes before mounting your motors onto this panel that we looked at in the previous video. So I encourage that you solder your connecting wires first. So this is why I had to deassemble that car so that we can do the soldering. So let me walk you through how you do soldering. Okay, so in this exercise, you require, of course, your 4 motors. So you can see here, this wire is already soldered on. Here there are no connecting wires on this motor. There are no connecting wires here. There's just one here. So we need to solder the wires. So you need your motors, you need your connecting wires. Here the colors are important. You need at least a red and a black wire. So I'm going to remove some connecting wires from this motor, and I'm going to solder them onto this one. So I need 2, 4, 6, 8 wires in total, but here I already have 2. So I'm going to require a red one here. So let's say this one is going to go here. Here I need 2 of them, so I'm going to take them from here to here. Here I simply need a red one, so I'm going to use this one. And lastly, I'm going to take them from here to here. And you need your soldering wire. So I have my soldering wire here. Your soldering gun, or rather your soldering iron. So let me put it on. Soldering iron. Okay. You have to be careful with the soldering iron here. So, and you have to make sure it's clean here. So I'm going to, let me look for something that allows me to clean the tip of the iron there. So I'm just going to improvise here and use my pliers. I'm just going to sort of rub this tip against this pliers so that I clean the tip of my soldering iron there. It has to be clean before you do your soldering, okay? Okay, so that when you do your soldering, it's going to be clean. So let's start with this motor here. Let's start with this one. So I need to solder this wire onto this terminal here. Okay, so this one is already attached. So I'm going to leave it like that. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to solder like this, so that they solder onto your wire, and then you do the same here. You do the same here. Okay. And then lastly, all you simply have to do is attach the 2 and blow so that it's going to dry off. So I'm done. And then I go to the next one. This one, we do not have wires at all, so I'm going to have to solder them. So I'm going to do it here first. Let's see here. Hopefully you can see clearly. And then I have to do the same on this terminal. And then I have to solder my wire. And So you have to be careful here so that this wire does not touch this metallic body of your motor. The wire does not have to touch here, as that might cause a short circuit. So you don't want that. So I need a black wire here. I have two wires here. Let me check red. So let me get a black wire from this one. Okay. And I'm going to solder it in. So there we go. Two motors done so far. And let's do the third one. Here we already have our black wire. So I'm going to put some solder here. And then take a red wire. Make sure there is enough solder. And then I just attach. So if you're used to this, you can be very quick with the process. So you need to have your learners trained so that they are very comfortable with soldering, so that they can have their robotics projects smoothly with no problems. So if your soldering iron is too hot, what you can also do is just switch it off for a moment. Sometimes it gets too hot, and you have to just switch it off for a moment. I've switched it off, but I can still there's still enough heat for me to do my soldering here. So it's important that sometimes you switch it off to avoid overheating. So yes, and then I need a black wire lastly, and also make sure the tip of your wire is open here like that. You have to make sure that you peel off that insulator, insulating material. Okay, so there we go. So I have done this exercise successfully here. I have my 4 wires with the 2 connecting wires on each motor. So of course I will then have to mount this onto this, and then we are going to be putting on today our motor driver, and we're going to connect it with our Arduino, and we're going to put our servo motor, and we're also going to use our ultrasonic sensor. Okay, so we're going to be attaching all these things, and we're going to vibe code our intelligent car. So if you don't know what vibe coding is, again, you need to have your training so that you learn how to manipulate AI to create these codes. So we're going to be doing that in the next video, so hang on.